rend les choses faciles.
Et sèche-moi ces larmes de crocodile.
Welcome back to another video. If you're new to this channel, we are High Season, a social media agency that helps business owners, entrepreneurs, and marketers step their social media game up and break the algorithm. Today we are talking about our favorite content creation tools, as you would have just seen in that B-roll. Wasn't that B-roll montage?
Glorious.
Lovely.
Glorious.
We took it with the camera that we are filming with right now.
Yes.
So should we jump right in?
I think we should. So we're going to divide this into two sections. One is our actual tech, so our physical content creating tools, and then we're going to move into software and apps and all the different other things we use to take what we've created with the technology and make them into content to share to our wonderful audience.
Yes, you know, if you want to really stand out on the gram or on any other social media platform, you really got to come with the content, because there are a lot of people out there who are distributing, right? But you need to stay one more above them, which is why we like to invest in content creation tools, and you don't always need to spend the most money on them. We're going to go actually through like tools that are like well priced to maybe on the higher end, so that everybody has a really good option to go through.
And this is our 2020 edition, by the way. We did this video, I want to say, I don't know, really early on.
Yeah, I think it was really early 2019.
Yeah. So since then, we've got two different cameras, I believe.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right.
We've had new cameras, and
it's
we're going to
YouTube, man. It's because of YouTube.
It's because of YouTube. We keep investing. We take the money and we reinvest
it.
And we're also going to include all of our software. With the first video, we only did hardware, I believe. So we're going to include the software, so it's all in one place. We're going to have links to everything below in the description. So if you want to have access to any of those things, it's all going to be down there.
Yeah, here we go. Content creation tools. This is more than a year ago.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel.
Oh, yeah, it looks old.
January 15th, 2019.
Wow, so nearly 2 years ago.
Yeah, so nearly 2 years ago. Wow.
So a lot has changed. I think we actually had this one of the Canon. We had this one at that point. I think we got it in 2018.
I think we had just got it and we're in love with it. That's when we started, which we still love it. But
things have, a few other things have changed since then.
Yeah. So I guess, let's dive right in.
Yeah.
We're going to start with the tech. Do you want to introduce the one, the only, the beautiful?
This is a Fujifilm XT4. This is our new baby. We decided to invest in this one recently. Now, this is certainly more on the higher end. Is by far the most we've ever spent on a piece of, I guess, content creation equipment.
Yeah.
Aside from the laptops.
Yeah.
So this is a more of a manual camera. We did a lot of research before deciding on this one.
So many YouTube videos. That's why YouTube's great, you know, because you
just
watch reviews
and they were comparing this and the new Sony, the A37 or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that we were gonna get. That was the two things that we were tossing up.
The Canon EOS R5 or 6.
We were thinking EOS R period, and then we looked at the 5 and 6.
Yeah,
we had a lot.
There's so many.
Yeah.
So we decided on the Fuji because this is a camera we've wanted for a long time. We had some clients maybe 4 years ago who had the I think it was the X100 fixed lens, and it was like you couldn't take a bad photo with the camera. It's ridiculous. And they kind of feel retro. They've got that old school ribbing, I guess, on the handle and everything. Just looking at it, it's a beautiful camera. We got the silver version, as you can see. So we also chose to use the 23mm lens, which ends up in real time, because it is a cropped sensor on the camera. It ends up being a 35mm.
Yeah, and one thing that's important to note, it's not the camera that's giving us this, right? It's the lens. So that's where you're getting the bokeh from.
Yes. And this camera had a bunch of features that we really wanted. So aside from the crazy bokeh, we wanted something that was video in 4K, and this has up to 60 frames per second. Now, it does get really hot. That is one downside. We filmed another video before this, not at 60 frames, and then we had to sort of chill for half an hour and let it cool down, and then do it again for this second video, which is a little annoying, but it was okay. The slow-mo is out of control, as you probably saw from the intro montage that Tiffany so excellently edited together.
Thank you.
Yeah, so welcome. So that is a real fantastic feature. The photography, I feel like it's a level above what we've had in the past. The ability to just get such beautiful bokeh and be able to control the autofocus controls in a way we haven't ever used in any other experience before.
Exactly, and the camera has its own filters as well.
Yes.
So all these
it's
classic,
really cool.
beautiful, like Fuji gives that beautiful, sometimes also the grainy feel that you get with images, and they actually have their own filters within the camera for you to use. And 4K,
and 4K, which is the main reason that it was of interest to us, because we want to step up the quality. And it's also a little bit of a learning curve because it is so manual. It's got all these dials on the top. We didn't know what the hell was going on at first, and we're struggling. We actually bought it and then went straight on a tourism board trip, and we're sitting there at the hotel trying to get it going, and like, why isn't it doing this?
How do you do this? How do
we
you
had to call
this?
The store, like, yo, like, I don't think it's working. And then he was like, no, this is how you do it.
Why would everyone say on YouTube that you can do this if you can't? Because we're reading blogs and YouTube and everybody's doing it, but a lot of people were missing kind of like but you have to do this thing to get this complete.
It's very different to watch a review video of it than actually, see how to do certain functions. When we've been Canon people from day one, even from when you had a camera back in the day.
Always.
I was a Canon from I bought my first one 2003.
Wow.
So we've both been Canon family, and it's a completely different system. So it was a lot of learning curve. It was quite steep, but it's gorgeous, as Tiff said. We're so happy with it, and we were going to get this for the vlog, and then the secondary camera for the main camera, but we don't need it. This is perfect. Yeah. So on that note, this is the other camera we were talking about. This is our Canon 6D Mark II. We got this one, I want to say, end of 2018, just before we did that first video.
This is what the majority of our YouTube videos have been shot on.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a workhorse. This is a big step up. We originally had, in that first video, I think we still had it, the T6. We sold it now, but the T6i.
Yeah.
Great camera, great introductory camera. It was time we had that for a bunch of years, and we were like, all right, let's move on and get something a little better now that we're taking all this content creation much more seriously. This camera, it's only HD, so there is no 4K, but the photography abilities are gorgeous.
Yeah.
We went with the Sigma 24mm 1.4 f-stop lens. It is exceptional. The autofocus is fast. It's quite large. Like, it's a big lens. It's a heavy camera, particularly in comparison to what we used to have.
And now even with this Fuji is lighter.
Fuji's so much lighter. The lens is smaller. So this is a bulky camera. We use this for both photography and video. Still love it. Because the difference is, like, if you're going to use the Fuji, you're going to want to use 4K, and the file sizes are huge. Yeah. That's the difference. And even just for some of the content we're doing, I don't always need a 4K.
Yeah, especially sometimes when it's just like Instagram specific things or small things. Sometimes
it's not really necessary.
The Fuji is just like, if you want that to even be even more gorgeous. But this Canon, I love this camera, and that Sigma lens. I cannot talk about this Sigma lens more. You just point it and it's gorgeous. It just creates beautiful, beautiful photography. If you're in product photography as well, you will love that lens.
My brother has the same camera, another Sigma lens, but his photography is out of control. He has a photography agency as well, so he is creating beautiful things with this. So that's the Canon, and this is super easy to use. Canon is much more for the person who sets it up one time, and I'm like, I don't want to really look at it again. I just point and shoot, and you do mild adjustments. As opposed to the Fuji, it's so many more things can go wrong. You don't know what the hell's going on. This is much simpler.
This is very auto-friendly.
So if you're new, I would much...
If you like automatic cars, there you go. If you like manual cars, that's the Fuji that you're going to go with. Yeah. Next up, we have our Canon G7X, our trusty first ever vlog camera. Still love this camera. So as we mentioned, the Fujifilm actually replaced this camera because we wanted our vlog content to be in 4K.
Yes.
And then it ended up being so good that we're using it as our main camera and vlog camera. But this camera is like the YouTuber camera. Everybody knows about it. It's the one that all the YouTubers use. A lot of YouTubers use, especially when you think about like the family vloggers and those people, because it's crazy because they're making so much. That's why I'm saying you don't need to invest so much. This camera is not a large investment. It's less than $1,000, and you can have a full YouTube channel and have millions and millions of subscribers. I think the Ace family, who's like a famous family vlogger with like 15 million plus subscribers, they're rocking this Canon G7X. This is why we say there's no reason not to make content. And don't let price ever be an issue, because just save up for a little bit and get this, and you'll be able to do a ton with it.
100%. And it's very portable. This is the most portable. Even the Fuji, it's still kind of bulky. It's smaller than the Canon, but it's still not level with it. This is
compact
camera. What do they call it? A point and shoot.
Point and shoot. Yeah.
So it's the highest level of point and shoot. It's the type of thing that your aunt has. And pulls it out, but this is a good version.
And Canon probably never realized that would ever become a thing where they're like, whoa,
that's the key
because
feature.
of YouTube.
It's because of the flip up.
And it's because of this. The flip up is so key.
Yeah.
Because when you're vlogging, obviously you want to be able
so
to see
easy
yourself.
to hold the camera up. You have a little stick, which I'll show you in a second.
Yeah.
And we've, I've been able to sit there and talk 5-10 minutes. No problem. I mean, not no problem, but I was doing it with the Fuji, and
your head started shaking a little bit.
I'm gonna have to hold two hands. It's really hard.
don't understand how like the Peter McKinnons and all those guys have
And
like
they've got the microphones
the huge
on top
thing with
and,
the
like...
Rogue mic and all that stuff. I'm like, how is your arms are?
It's crazy. But that if you're looking to start into vlogging, 100%, this is the move.
Yeah.
It's not great for photography. It's okay.
It's okay.
There's zero bokeh. There's basically no depth to the photos.
Yeah.
They're straight up and down.
They're
Once
pretty
again,
straightforward.
there's not much to them. But they do the trick. That camera is a pleasure. We haven't used it since we got the Fuji, but also we are in lockdown again, and we haven't had
Nowhere
many
to go or
opportunities.
anywhere to vlog.
No, so and we're trying to use the Fuji exclusively for that. We paid enough for it, so we want to use it. So next up is the audio side of things. Now, we've talked about this one before. This is a Zoom H4n microphone that we record, so all the audio that you hear on the channel, except for when we're vlogging, is via this bad boy. It is recording right now. This has been one of the most trusty pieces of equipment I think we've ever purchased.
Yeah, we use it for podcasting and for the YouTube as well.
Everything, it's beautiful, it's easy to use. This is the older model with the orange screen. The new version's a bit sleeker with the blue screen, and they've updated the thing. We got this in 2015, I believe, when we started the podcast. Couldn't recommend this more. It's great for YouTube because it's a separate mic that keeps the audio separately. The Canon one, with the problem with the Sigma lens, it crunches when it autofocuses.
Yeah.
So you can't use the internal audio. The Fuji is fine, you can, and we do that for when we vlog, but when we record the videos, we prefer to have this more stable audio with this bad boy. Now, I'm using the old, this is called a Manfrotto. It's a three-way, like a stand, but also a, what do you call it? A stick, a holder, whatever.
Yeah,
Tripod. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. And we use that for the G7X. So that's why we bought it, and you can put it down, and now we use it because we're not using the G7X. We have a separate one, which I'll show you in a moment, for the Fuji, because it's much more heavy duty, and this doesn't really cut it. So this is great stand for the G7X, a lighter camera, and it's fantastic for the microphone as well.
And you'll
super
notice
flexible.
Craig's audio went up significantly while he was holding it.
Yes.
And that's because like this mic picks up audio extremely well.
Yeah, we've used this audio doing podcasts. One we did with a brewery in Michigan, and it was outside on a busy patio. There were trucks going by, helicopters flying over the top.
We're like, come on.
And my brother was able to get all of that out from his engineering side of it. So it is possible. So this picks up everything, and if you have the right tools on the production side, the post-production side, you're going to be able to remove those type of things. So that one is exceptional. Now this is the other one that we were telling you about. This is called a Joby. This is the beast. It's called a Gorilla Pod or something.
Yeah, I believe so.
We bought this specifically. These are actually really expensive, and this isn't even the biggest one. There's one bigger than this. We bought this for the Fuji, so it just screws into the top. You can also make it into a tripod and stand. You can bend it and stick it around, wrap it around, say the tripod, which sometimes we do as well, but this camera needs to go back further than the Canon did, so we don't need to wrap it around anymore for the audio. This is really good. Once again though, it's really difficult to hold this with that camera with one arm for a significant portion of time, so I've had to end up going two. It's kind of weird, so now we'd kind of prefer that Tiff would film
in vlogging format. I'll film Craig, for example, or he'll film me.
We started doing it with the G7X anyway because of an artistic thing that you decided
it was an
to
artistic
do.
choice.
Decision, aesthetic.
Yeah.
And then now this is great. So we took this on the trip with us when we went up east in Quebec when things were safer, and it was great.
Yeah.
Highly recommend this or any of the Joby brands. The smaller one, we used to use the small one for the microphone stand, and the problem is we had to change it over in the last. We had to change it twice because the things kept cracking and then the legs would come out and not even from dropping it. So I think they're not made for that much use, but these ones, that's like $30 and this is like 150. So, these are much more heavy duty. So we've had zero problems with this. Our lighting. So we've talked about this in the last one. We are still using the same lights.
Look at that.
From, when did we get these? Maybe 2016, 2017?
Yeah, 2016 or 2017.
It was a while ago.
Have we even changed the bulbs ever?
No, some of them are dying too. We've been lazy. That one's
But look at that, 4 years.
Yeah, and these were the links in the description. I think they're like $130.
Such a good investment, these lights. Oh my
we didn't want
goodness,
to put much into it. Now,
look at what we would look like without
the lights on. Literally pitch black. Yeah.
You see?
So these lights are great. Now, the downside of these lights is that they're bulky and they take up a lot of room, and in our place there isn't really anywhere to put them, and they don't fold down very easy. They're really difficult to put together, so that's been a bit of a challenge. So we're right now we're considering upgrading the lights to something smaller, more compact.
We'll let you know if we get
we'll let you know if we change. We'll do an update. These ones, it's called a softbox, and they're just 4 energy efficient light bulbs, little coil ones that came all with it, and they come with a bag and everything. They're sturdy. They've been very consistent. The lighting, they've got like a double layer of softbox material to really give a soft light that's not too much. It's a little difficult if you're taking photos of, say, products that are shiny. That does make it difficult. Say beer cans or wine bottles, you do see these like two lines on them, which can be cool if you position it right. But I find it annoying sometimes. But overall, like we wouldn't be able to do a lot if it wasn't for these.
Well, look
lights.
at that, and
it lasted all that time.
This is lighting up our faces. Look how it's lighting up our faces. Like our regular house lights couldn't even come close to that. So.
And you'd never want to use the house lights, particularly if they're tungsten, which is yellow.
Tungsten,
it just looks gross
yellow.
And cheap, and it's not nice. And particularly for videos and for product photography, it's not going to cut it. So there are certainly lights in all budgets. I mean, this is definitely on the lower end, and we're at the point where they aren't broken, so we just didn't replace them.
Yeah. The next up, technically these are two content creating devices. So our MacBook Pro, because that's where we edit a lot. So we edit our video and we edit our audio on the MacBook Pros. And then the iPhone. So, okay, I was like, say anything on there to expose me? No. And then the iPhone. So the iPhone, in the end, as long as you have a model over an 8 Plus, you can create content. You can shoot in 4K, remember, with these phones. So there is no reason to not create fantastic content. Now, Apple just announced that their new phone is coming out, which we'll be purchasing as well.
Yes, looking forward to it.
However, really any iPhone, or I'm sure the Samsungs, we're Team Apple here, so we don't know the models, but I'm sure the Android phones, those Samsung seem to be really doing well. The Google phone seems to be great. You are able to create high quality content, good enough content that will get you in your feed and things are looking hot.
When we first started the beer stuff and doing YouTube for that before high season, we vlogged multiple times on an iPhone 6.
At the time. That was an iPhone 6,
6S or something like that, and it was fine. I mean, obviously it wasn't optimal. You can tell it's on a phone, the way that the screen moves and the way that people move in it, but it does the trick. It'll get you by, and then you get used to it, and you get used to the editing, and you don't have to stress and invest all this money in all this equipment. So great point. Everyone has one of these in their pocket, so this is the place to start. If you don't get any of the other things that we talked about,
at least start with your iPhone. But number one thing is to start. So you always have the tools at your disposal to create content. So now that we've talked about the tools,
it's time for software.
I just want to come back off because we talked about the machines. So maybe we should just knock out the two things again that we're using on the machines.
Yes, let's do that.
Final Cut Pro. So the video that you're seeing here is edited on Final Cut Pro. Myself or our employee Dan will edit using Final Cut Pro for all of our videos. We also use Logic. Well, you use Logic. For podcasts.
It's an Apple-based software. We used to use Pro Tools. It's quite complex. Logic is much easier. Even if you don't use Logic, that's a little bit more of a pro software. You can use GarageBand. It comes with every Mac. So it's there. You can process that. Does iMovie
come with the Mac too?
iMovie and GarageBand is at least they
so
did.
People even edit on iMovie. So we bought Final. We didn't buy Final Cut Pro. We're actually ex-Apple employees.
So we got it when we left.
So we got it when we left. But people use iMovie and it seems to work just as fine.
So they're the more pro software, but we're doing pro stuff. So but they are very, very easy to use and high quality things that come inside Macs. So next up are editing apps, both for the computer and for the phone. There's a whole bunch of these. A lot of these have paid versions, but the free versions are extremely good. I don't think we really pay for maybe one of them. Canva, that's about it.
Yeah, I think we only paid for Canva. So let's talk about Canva first, since we're going out. So, Canva.
It's the best.
Really just the best thing ever. It's just such a fantastic app. It just seems too ridiculous how good it is. And even in the freemium version, we were using the free version forever. And then finally I was just like, what? Right? I need to give you guys money because this is just so good. I'm just going to pay for the premium version at this point. And then with that has come a lot more capabilities. So we love Canva. Do not to be stopped from doing anything because you don't have Photoshop skills. Canva is your Photoshop skill. You don't even need to learn how to use these things anymore. Canva is like too good to be true in the content creation side of things. That you can, and now they've added these like video capabilities in it. It used to be more static images, but now they have video and animation, all of this fantastic stuff. So Canva is a great tool to use for content creation. I think it should be in your arsenal.
Of all of these, I'd say it's our favorite.
That would be our favorite.
And the most versatile. And if you're going to pay for any of them, this is the one to pay for.
My second favorite, which will be coming up, is Lightroom. I love
Adobe
Lightroom. and I don't believe it's a paid version that I'm using.
We use the app, right?
Yeah, we use the Lightroom app, but it's available on your desktop as well. So Lightroom is really well known among photography professionals. We are not photography professionals. We are photography enthusiasts and content creators. So most of the editing that we do is actually on our phone, and I use Lightroom for that. And I'm always get asked what I use to edit my photos, that's with Lightroom. And we do it for our clients. We use that for our client editing as well.
Yes.
If we don't hire another photographer to do the work. So Lightroom, that's a photo editing app. Snapseed is another great photo editing app that I'd also recommend alongside Lightroom. Snapseed is really great for doing very small tweaks to things.
Right.
Yeah.
A little more detailed.
A little more. See, they're both detailed in a way, but it's just Snapseed has there's some other fun functions that you get to use with it. So it's kind of like what your editing style is. It's kind of how you gravitate towards the app. Ecamm is another photo editing app that I recommend.
Visco?
I think it's Visco. I think it's Visco.
We always say VSCO, but
you know what? It's Visual Supply Co. We're using that app for years. Now have moved into Lightroom and Snapseed, but I still have a place in my heart for Ecamm or Visco, and the reason is because it is so foolproof in a way. Gives you these gorgeous filters that you can apply for consistency across all your photos. So if you don't want to go in there with all these minor tweakings, if you prefer automatic to manual, then I definitely recommend the Ecamm app. Another great tool to help you level up your content is going to be the Mojo app. Then we're moving into video here because video is such a popular form. So Canva allows you to do really cool stuff with video. Mojo has awesome templates for you to do really fun stuff with video. So I definitely recommend downloading that app. Again, it is also free and it will help you level up your stories and in-feed posts. So definitely recommend that. Another app that we still use all the time is InShot. InShot's so great on your phone to just do quick things that you need to edit down. If you have a song, you can actually airdrop it. If you use a Mac, airdrop it into InShot, and then you use the audio that you want in the background of your videos. It's just so easy. It's just so perfect for creating content. So definitely recommend that. And then when we're talking about stories, again, two of my favorite apps that people ask me about all the time, Storylux and Unfold. We've mentioned this in our videos before about creative tools, which we'll link in the description, that are specific for Instagram, but definitely recommend those tools.
Yes. The last two tools that we have are really fun ones that we use quite a lot. I'll talk about maybe my one that I use. I use Ecamm, which is one of my favorite tools that we've discovered this year, thanks to Stefan, who's our good friend. We've talked about him before on here. He's a big YouTuber. He put us onto this software. We use it for our live videos. So basically, it's the simplest one. We used to use OBS, and you had to download 2 or 3 other software apps that had to connect to it. It was a whole thing, and you had to use the streaming key. Whereas this, just you log into your YouTube, boom, it's done. It's so simple. I use it 2, if not 3 times a week if we go live from high season. I love it. It's about $15 US to have it without all the branding, and it's definitely worth it. You can bring up the comments, all the live comments that come up on the screen, and not only does it let you go live on YouTube, it lets you go live on Facebook, Twitch, and Periscope as well. So super handy for that. And you can also do screen in screen. So we've actually recorded videos via Ecamm that we've put up here because it's the best way we've found to do a screen in screen, like, maybe us small down the bottom and then you see what's going on. It's really good.
Yeah, and then following that, my favorite tool, because I'm the one that's editing, is Epidemic Sound. Love Epidemic Sound. So many great songs. So basically what it is, it's a library of music. No, this video is not sponsored, because in the way that I started it sounded like I was going to say, and this video is sponsored by.
Wish it was.
But no, we actually just love Epidemic Sound. Super cool library. We are on the hip-hop, trappy, R&B, synthy side of things, and I can't believe how great their library is, because usually when you go to an audio library, it's usually just like very pop, or just not really the vibe that we're going for, really like cheesy, or what's that mono type sounding music,
like the polyphonic ringtones from
like
back
that
in the day.
MIDI. But these are like deep sounding. There are producers that are on there making beautiful music, whether it be instrumentals or actually with vocals as well. Highly recommend it. If you watched our vlog series, that's when we actually started using Epidemic Sound. It was when we started our vlog series. We did a 7-day challenge, which we'll link in the description for you below, which was part of the whole stay home thing. And in that's when we discovered Epidemic Sound, and absolutely love it. All right, so that's it.
That is it.
All right, guys, so everything we talked about today will be linked in the description below. If you have questions about any of the tools, please don't hesitate to ask us in the comments. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos from us. You can follow us everywhere on social media at High Season Co. You can check out our blog post. We'll probably do a blog post on this one actually.
Yeah, so we can link to everything.
Yeah, so we can link to everything in there too, make it easy for everybody. And because repurposing is king, guys, never forget. So, or queen. We will see you in the next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.